All right, so we just got some news from Conor McGregor in a live stream saying he got offered a two-fight deal to fight Terrence Crawford in MMA then boxing. Now, I think this would be a banger idea because Terrence Crawford actually has some wrestling experience. Obviously, he's not at a UFC level, but is Conor even going to wrestle in an MMA fight if they were to fight in the first place? But maybe if Crawford cracks him on the feet, maybe he would shoot a double leg. I don't know. So I'm going to be talking about why this is a great idea, how it would go in boxing and MMA. Yeah, we get it, bro. You're in a truck and you can drive fast. Holy fucking shit, nobody cares. Now, this wouldn't be the first boxer that went to MMA. James Toney actually went to the UFC one time and thought only 9 months of MMA training would be enough to beat Randy Couture, and he ended up getting submitted in the first round.
Now he's got to defend by putting it against his ear. He's going out. It's all over! Randy, the natural Couture, has defeated James Toney!
Which was pretty expected at the time, but Terrence Crawford actually has some wrestling experience. Supposedly he's really skilled and it comes from a family full of wrestlers. There's actually a video of him wrestling a wrestler from Kazakhstan. So off the rip, he's going to have more experience than James Toney did when he stepped in the octagon. Now, how do I think a UFC fight's going to go? Well, it really depends how much time he really has to train. James Toney had 9 months and he didn't do anything. But again, Crawford has more experience off the rip. So obviously, I think Conor is going to kick the legs off him at least. And you would obviously think that Conor could take him on the ground because of experience in jiu-jitsu and everything. He did like as well as he possibly could have against Khabib before he got choked out. So yeah, if they ended up fighting in the UFC, Crawford's wrestling would definitely make things somewhat interesting in the build-up, but overall, I think Conor would just kick the living shit out of his legs and his body and probably just crumble him with a body kick and then just ground and pound him and win that way, most likely. I don't see Conor ever shooting. I don't really see why he would, unless Terrence somehow cracks him on the feet. But yeah, maybe Crawford makes it interesting for a round or two, but overall, I think Conor still fucks him up. Now, how do I think the fight will go in boxing? That is a completely different story. Now, Conor is going into Terrence Crawford's world where there's a lot less tools and it's a lot more of a chess match. So, Terrence Crawford is way, way too good and way too sharp to lose to Conor, even though Conor is an elite striker. He did very good against Floyd. He did better than most pro boxers would against Floyd. Now, that mainly could just because that Conor was unorthodox, but now that there's footage of him out, I think Terrence Crawford will study that and break him down in there. Now, Conor struggled with Floyd's power at the end of their fight, and I think Terrence Crawford is way more powerful than Floyd, so I think that would be a problem. Crawford is also a switch hitter, which means he fights an orthodox and southpaw elite in both stances. Pro boxers can't even crack that, so I can't imagine that Conor would do very well against that at all. I think Terrence Crawford would target the body, work up the body, and set up something upstairs. And I really think it would only take one big shot from Terrence Crawford to put McGregor out, to be honest. Now, I basically just sat here and said both of the fights would be one side of both sides. So you're like, so you don't think this fight should happen? Well, no, actually, I do think it should happen because this would be historic. Because it would be something that we've never seen before. A two-fight deal where they fight in boxing and MMA. We've had Jake Paul offer this. And supposedly he's going to be fighting MMA next year, maybe against Tommy Fury, which would be interesting. Honestly, that might be a video later, maybe Wednesday. And I'm not knocking Jake Paul for his star value or his boxing ability, but this would be way more historic if it's Conor versus Terrence Crawford. Two huge names. It might even be a Riyadh season card. I would imagine this would be massive. And I think Conor going to boxing is the right move. I think him, after his breaking his leg, he should have went right into boxing. He shouldn't be fighting like Floyd Mayweather's or Terrence Crawford's, but like still high-level pros he could probably beat because he did well against Floyd. He just needs to find the right weight class, and I think he'll be very entertaining as a boxer inside and outside the ring, obviously outside. So overall, who knows? It kind of looks like he might never, ever step into octagon ever again. So Maybe boxing is the answer. Let me know who you think he could face besides Terrence Crawford. Will Evil Dana let him out of his contract even though he still has 2 fights left? He did say he still wants Chandler after Charles Oliveira fight.
A base. Stand your base. The space is your space, yeah?
17, cancellation, 1 page, transfer termination.
Or he's going to continue tweaking on the gambling live stream, so who knows. Yeah, let me know if you agree with how I think the fight will go in MMA and boxing. Let me know if you agree if this fight should even happen and if Conor's even going to step back in a ring or an octagon. Yeah, so you want to hear more about combat sports, MMA, UFC, influencer boxing, regular boxing, I'll be covering it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and everything. It really helps with me getting on the algorithm and growing this channel. So like always, comment if you disagree or agree in the comments. And thank you all for watching like always. Peace out.